Hey guys, welcome back to RatherBeVizing. My name is Sam, and today we're going to be taking a look at how you can have your number formats be dynamic. So in the previous video, we had a look at how you could use parameters to append a percentage sign or a pound sign onto your figures when you're switching between measures that are different sort of formats. So if they're a percentage or if they're a pound value, if they're a whole number. But one thing that doesn't work that well in Tableau is when you want to show millions or thousands, but you have some values that aren't millions or thousands and they display a bit weird. So to show you what I mean, let's hop into Tableau and take a look. So here we are in Tableau. I've got some dummy data here, having a look at our sales through the months. Now we had a very strange year. We kept on increasing our sales by a power of 10 every month. But to show you what I mean, if I come into sales and I right click and I choose format, if I come to my numbers here, I can say that I want to show a custom number or maybe a currency, and I want to display units as thousands. Now you'll see that when I change it to thousands, I get the K, and that works fine for anything that's over 1,000, but for something that's just 10, it's just going to show zeros. And that goes through as well. If I was to change this to be millions, then again, everything below 1 million is really difficult to see what that granularity is. So the way that we can get around this is by creating a calculated field that has a look at the value and then changes it into a string based on what that value is. And then in that way, we can show our units, we can show thousands, we can show millions, we can show billions. So let's hop into the calculated field menu and see what that looks like. So I'm going to call this my dynamic number format. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to start off with a if statement. So I'm going to say, if my absolute sum of sales is greater than 1 billion, have I got enough zeros there? There we go. Then, and the first thing is going to be, I'm going to be rounding this for billions. And I'm putting in this note here just so I know exactly what this part of the calculation is doing. So if my value is greater or equal to 1 billion, then I want to create a string. I'm then going to start off with a round and I'm going to sum my sales. Then for the getting it down to being a billion, I'm just going to copy and paste this. So I'm going to divide my sales by 1 billion. I'm now still in that round function, so I want to round it to 1 decimal place. I'm then going to finish off those brackets there to contain my sum and my round, and then I'm going to put a plus sign and B. So now my string value is going to be my number divided by the number of billions that it is, and it's going to append that B onto the end. Now, if it's not a billion, I'm going to add in an else if here, and I'm just going to copy up my start of my calculation here, and I'm going to take off a couple of the zeros to get down to a million. So if it is greater than or equal to a million, then here I'm going to be rounding for millions. I'm just going to copy that same bit of the formula there. I'm going to take off the zeros there that I don't need. And then I'm going to replace that B with an M. So now it's going to divide it by the number of millions that it is and then append that M onto the end. Now, if it is less than or equal to 1,000, then I'm going to round it for thousands. So thousands. And here I'm going to divide it by 1,000 and then I'm going to put a K. And then if I am less than 1,000, then I'm just going to do an else. And I'll put a note here to say this is for less than 1,000. And here I'm just going to do a simple string, round the sum of my sales to 0 decimal places. I'm going to finish that off with an end. And so what we've got here is it's going to sum our sales. It's then going to say, is it greater than or equal to a billion? If it is, then chuck a B on the end. If it's greater than or equal to a million, then chuck on an M. For 1,000, it's going to chuck on a K, and if it's less than 1,000, it's just going to be the number. So if I click apply on that and then OK, you can see we've now got our dynamic number format. And if I drop that onto text, you can see that now our ones are shown as 1, our 10s 10, 100 100, but then our thousands are shown as a K, 10K, 100K, 1 million, 10 million, 100 million, 1 billion, and then 10 million, 10K. So if I take sales off, I've now got my values shown with that dynamic number format. Now, obviously, you're having to do a bit of a hacky way to get around this because it's not best practice. Because if I was to come into this and have a look at these values and I'm not familiar with what's being shown, usually you would have all of your numbers at the same level, so you might show them all in thousands. But sometimes you might get the request to have the numbers formatted like this, and that's how you do it, through using that string function. Anyway, that's the video. Thanks very much for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, all of that good stuff, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.